And I'm back with another battle video. So this is my Rayeels deck. Older version of Rayeels. Wait, I actually still haven't updated it with the Spark Dynamo rather than the Paralysis Dynamo. Trying to think what else is in here that I would change. Considering a dowsing machine to a computer search. Um, and possibly dropping a little Rayquaza for a V-Create Victini, but that's about it. So I start Rayquaza with a bench Dynamo, and he opens up Cobalion. So I'm immediately thinking Cobalion Kling Klang, and oh no, why haven't I added in the V-Create Victini yet? So he starts off with a Pokedex, and that allows you to rearrange, I think, the top 4 cards of your deck. He catchers up my Dynamo. Righteous Edge luckily only does 30, but oh, that laser will knock it out. So if he has the Metal Energy, he will take an early prize. He throws away some fighting, interesting enough, and puts down a Landorus and ends up switching. So obviously he is not running your standard Kling Klang, and yeah, I'm not quite sure what kind of deck this is, but I see Landorus and I'm concerned. So unfortunately, by doing that Juniper, he actually ended up he didn't pull into any energy after throwing out 2 of them. So luckily I have Sky Arrow, so I take the 10 from the poison, but I'll be able to get out of it with free retreat with that Sky Arrow. We're gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball some stuff to get another Dynamo out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end just so I keep that eel in my deck. And excellent, I pull into lots of good stuff. So I've already attached for the turn, so there's no point in getting an Emolga out. But we're gonna go ahead and probably just get as many. I don't want to save a level ball for eel. I'm gonna take a chance and just fill up my bench, I think, and go with another Dynamo, 4 Dynamo. I'm gonna hold off on that little Rayquaza for the moment, and I Celestial Roar just to see what I can get. I end up throwing out, I believe, a catcher and another level ball, was it? And hit 1 energy to add. Wasn't really too concerned with that, just hoping to get a little faster energy acceleration on there, but that's about it. So he catchers up the Dynamo with damage, oddly enough. Maybe he doesn't realize he has weakness, but he would have actually been able to take a double knockout had he brought up any of the other Dynamos. Could have knocked out one of the active Dynamos with the weakness, and then knocked out that bench one that he just knocked out because it only had 30 HP left. So luckily he did not realize that, and that I mean, yeah, that's great for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach to the little Rayquaza, and let's see. Wow. I'm sorry, big Rayquaza, not little Rayquaza. I was hoping I would get into something for, to get into an electric, but with the Colress of 5, I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and Dragon Burst only for 120, but I won't need to do, it puts a lot of damage on his field, and puts a little more pressure on him. He's going to have the catcher to be able to take out a knockout, and I'm feeling pretty good. So he attaches a Metal Energy to the Cobalion, tries an Ether, and hits the Ether. So he'll be able to attach that, and he decides to go and put it on the Cobalion. And there we go. Now he sees his mistake from before. Although he must not still realize what the weakness is. So yeah, he hasn't noticed weakness. Okay. Anyways, he does end up taking the double knockout on the Dynamos on that turn. So now he's taken 3 prizes off a Dynamo, and now I'm starting to get worried. I really don't want to attach for the turn. At least not for a fire energy. Uh, this is rough. I think I'm just gonna have to end, get him down to a hand of 3. Hope he doesn't pull in anything, and hopefully I get some stuff. So, well, actually, I hit an eel, and well, I do hit the switch. So I'm gonna attach 1 for the turn. I don't really know if I want to use that switch yet or not, but yeah, I was about to say I don't know if I want to evolve that quite yet. Should go ahead and retreat first, cause I don't. Yeah, he doesn't have an Eviolite or anything on him, so I only need that 1 lightning on him, and I'm not gonna have much energy acceleration, so I might as well just use it to attach to the little Rayquaza, and that way I can still do some damage next turn. And hopefully on these 2 prizes I'll hit a supporter. And because my hand really is not looking that great right now, I need to hit a super rod in order to get some of that stuff back. And there we go. I actually hit a super rod and a level ball. So, he on this end he ends up getting a juniper, so that really didn't hurt him. He promotes a Cobalion, attaches, throws out my Sky Arrow to put in a Burbank, but he's already used, I think, 2 lasers, so I'm not too concerned. Puts in 3 fighting back into his deck, and then he's going to go for an Ether and misses and hits a Pokedex instead. So he ends up hitting me for, I think, 100. I play my other Sky Arrow to knock out his Burbank. And is this the game? Yeah, this is the game where I mess up and I forget to use the super rod before the the Dynamo. So I'm actually going to sacrifice an Emolga to get more Dynamo onto the field. So I'm going to super rod all 3 Dynamo back in, because I still don't have a supporter. So I'm really struggling here. And I think I forgot to Dynamotor too, so I really messed up a lot that turn. Go ahead and get 2 Dynamo on the field, and let's see what he does. So we're gonna hit a Pokedex, and let's see if he's able to get the Ether out to actually attach energy. This is why I'm not quite a fan of the Pokedex Ether Energy Acceleration Engine. As you can see, it just doesn't work very well. So he ends up junipering his hand and attaching a fighting energy to the bench Landorus, plopping down another Landorus. And I don't know if there's really anything else he can do except hit me for 100 and knock out my little Emolga. So there goes that Emolga. We're going to throw up a Dynamo. And now I will actually be able to double Dynamotor. Which actually means, and I don't know if I have enough lightning energy in the discard pile anyways. Actually, no, I do. So not Dynamotoring last turn was actually a huge misplay. Had I Dynamotored last turn, I would have been able to, take the knockout with Big Rayquaza. And, yeah, so I end up just Dynamotoring once the little Rayquaza, once the big Rayquaza. And so, he can't knock me out with 1 shot, with his Cobalion on my little Rayquaza, and I have the switch in hand to get back to it. So, I'm alright with this. I'm gonna go ahead and just shred, do a solid 90, and that means I won't have to put as much pressure on my big Rayquaza, later on. And if I hit a catcher, I could even well, that won't work because he only has 2 prizes left. I cannot afford to lose that big Rayquaza. So this is actually turning out to be a really close game. I actually don't remember how this one turns out. He has a distinct advantage right now with all the damage on that big Rayquaza. I have to hit a supporter in order to do something, and he hits a scramble switch. So, if he does whatever its second attack is, he will be able to knock out that Rayquaza and only have 1 prize left to my 4. Now, good thing is that his Cobalion on the bench doesn't have much energy, but still, this is going to be rough, and he's got a full hand. I really have to top a supporter ideally an N. Get his hand down to 1 after he takes his prize, and then we'll be good. So, let's see what he ends up doing. Yep, he hits me for a land judgment, full 150, and takes that prize. So I'm just going to promote that little Dynamo. And I hit a Skyla, which is not going to help me right now. So, question is do I use the Skyla for a level ball to go ahead and evolve that eel and make it a little harder to knock out? Or do I use the Skyla to get an N for next turn, or a Juniper for next turn, or something for next turn? Now I'm not gonna be able to I'm gonna be able to take a knockout on this turn, unless he hits an Ether. I'll be all right. So interesting. I end up capturing. I don't know why I really did that, because I could have just dynamoed her twice. I really feel like I don't know what I'm doing here. So, I'm gonna dynamote her to the paralysis dynamo. I guess because the Cobalion can hit me for more, but I still don't think I should have just taken out the Landorus. There was no reason to just take out the Cobalion instead. Now, if he hits an energy and an ether, I'm done for. Oh, I didn't even think about the laser. Oh no. Well, he doesn't have Verbank in play, so that's a good thing. And I do have a switch, so I still have a shot. Now he attaches a metal. He did attach a metal to the bench Cobalion and then took that back. So he ends up putting it on the active Landorus, and he's Ultra Balling for something. I'm just taking out my discard pile right now. I only have 2 energy in there. Oh no, there's 4. There's plenty. He goes for a switch, and then another switch, and then Bianca. So he's just trying to thin out the resources in his deck in case of that late game end. And it helps him get into that Verbank. So he's gonna try and put me to sleep. He ends up putting me to sleep. He's really hoping that I stay asleep and I don't have the switch. So he hits me for 30. He hits the Dynamo for 30. But I think I have this. Yeah, I have it because of that switch. So that doesn't even matter. I don't know if I even see it right now. Oh no, I still need an eel. I need 1 eel, and I'll have it. So I want to make sure that there's no eels in there, because if I can triple Dynamotor, or if I can end and hit a lightning, I have it. So I captured the Cobalion up just to hopefully stall for a bit in case I whiff it. But if I can hit the third, oh no, even if I hit the third Dynamotor, I won't have a way to get out of it. Unless my my N of 2, it happens to be a switch. So I N, and it's an eel, but I have no way to get out of it, to get out of the active position. Now, I don't know why he says good game, because the game's not over yet. Maybe just because of the late game N, and he can't do too much with, he utilized too many of his switches just to, draw more with that Bianca. But I'm going to go ahead and retreat, which ended up, dynamoing with that to that Dynamo ended up being a good thing since he threw out my second Sky Arrow. And going to Dragon Burst for 120. Now after this turn, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. It just really depends on what I hit. Now he goes ahead and ends me for 2, which ends up being better. I honestly don't even know why I didn't evolve my bench Dynamo. That was a huge misplay. Had he had the switch, he would have had the game just on a bench lander. So he catches up my eel to try and stall. I'm going to attach for the turn just to get out of my hand, and Juniper, and hope I have some switch left, and yep, there it is. So we'll Dynamotor for 1, and that's really all I need. And we'll just, why not Dynamotor for 2. And I finally hit a second Rayquaza, which is kind of odd that I only hit one big Rayquaza all game. And we'll go ahead and play the switch. So him ending me, and really right before I'm about to win, he just concedes. So honestly, that one is just a bad sport. Not even just early, like wanting to save time. He waits until the very last minute before I can actually pull off the attack and then concedes. So anyways, that's it. And let's see, tomorrow is Friday, so Featured Friday. I need to figure out what card I want to feature. So stay tuned for that.